Hello viewers, good evening. Welcome to Oreb Show, showing live on Gum Live TV. I'm Moreni KJ. And today on Get Inspired, we'll continue with our series, My Life, My Story. Don't forget, this is where we discussed about our daddy. We'll get to know more about him. And in our previous episode, we discussed how the ministry started. We discussed his marriage. We discussed how learning also has helped him so far. And last week, we also talked about challenges. And in the challenges, he mentioned there are times whereby there are great vision, but low money. Excellent plan, no money at all. Even he mentioned there were times, he felt depressed, rejected, so many things. But today, we'll be talking about testimonies, and I believe these are things that has kept him going. These are the things that has helped him so far. So I know you will be glad to hear many of these because I know they will encourage all of us. So with me in the studio is our father in the Lord, Reverend Dr Seun Orebiyi. Daddy, you're welcome, sir.
It is thank you. Thanks for having me once again.
You're welcome, sir. So +2348054281604 is the number to send your questions. Please WhatsApp only. And if you're watching us live on Facebook, Seun Orebiyi, you can also connect to us on YouTube, Gum Live TV or Seun Orebiyi TV. All right, stay back and enjoy the show. Okay, Daddy. Last week we discussed about challenges, and out of everything you said, one thing I was able to hold on to is no matter what anyone is going through, once the person is focused and with God by one side, one will definitely get to where one is going. So today, as I mentioned earlier, it's testimonies, sir. Daddy, can we start with the testimonies so far? Things that have helped you so far, because you've always said, it has not been rosy, but here we are. So let's hear the testimonies.
It is we thank God and we appreciate God for everything. We give God all the praise and all the glory. The journey of life is not a rosy one, but God has ever been faithful to his own. Yes, and the faithfulness of God most times is the reason why we are alive. And then we need to understand clearly that our souls needs to keep the testimony of God. Psalm 119 verse 167. Bible says, my soul hath kept your testimonies, and I love them exceedingly. If you don't have testimonies, of the past record of God in your life, you may not be able to have the courage to face the current challenges.
Okay, sir.
We know that when David encountered Goliath, one thing he said to the people that told him he can't conquer Goliath was that he said, the God that gave me the head of the bear, the God that gave me the head of the lion, the same God will give me the head of this uncircumcised Philistine. So it rose to the fact that God expects us to keep the testimony of what he has done in our life at one time or the other, so that we can have the courage to face other challenges that may be coming up in the course of time. Sure. When we talk about testimonies, that of God's acts is uncountable. Okay. Because every day that we sleep and wake up alone is a testimony. Yes, so until a man is able to, lose the health that he or she has, he may not be able to value waking up and sleeping every day. Being able to eat by yourself and put the food in your mouth and it goes properly, and you're able to go to the loo and defecate properly. Many does not value that until they get to the hospital and they realize that many people have to use machine to breathe, and many have to use machine to get things out of their body, the waste. But we can get that done back and forth, without any effort. It's just the testimony of God in our life. So many people don't take this seriously. That's why you see people complaining and murmuring about the acts of God and the doings of God in their life. It's because they are not able to keep the testimony of what God has done in their life at one time or the other. So, like I said, the testimonies of God in every one of us life is uncountable. Sure. But we're just going to pinpoint one or two, ones as we can remember, in order for us to be able to see clearly that God has done great things. And then in that great thing that he has done, Bible says we should count our blessings and name them one by one. So, and that is the only time we can have the strength and the courage and the faith in God to stick to him and believe him for greater things, that is ahead of time. So Psalm 119 verse 167, my soul has kept your testimonies and I love them exceedingly. So if we have to look at testimonies, one major, remarkable one that comes to mind, was the first thing is salvation of life.
Okay.
Because without salvation, every other thing is out of place.
Okay.
So, and with the life or the kind of way that one has lived in the past, the kind of life that one has, exposed himself to, and for God to keep one all through those, valley of the shadow of death, and still help one to be able to have the light of salvation alone is the best of testimony.
Okay.
Because the testimony of salvation, no man will know the value of it here until we get to the other side. Because once a man is not saved here, the man is as good as dead on this side.
Okay,
so, and the testimony of salvation is the best. Because like I said, the encounter that I went through in the course of that dark pit of my life is not a palatable one. It's not rosy. It's like waking up every day back and forth for weeks, for days, for months. And you don't even know what next will take place, what next will happen. So, but you kept on keeping on. And then one thing with God is, He will always shine His light upon you as a person to be able to show you that He's still there with you. And then you can still keeping on once you have the life of God and the breath of God in you. So the testimony of salvation, right from that pit of nothingness, is the best thing that I've ever valued in my life. Because it's not that I'm not, like I said, I was born in the church. My grandfather, people around me, but to be able to give your life totally as a young man is something that you like is not possible. So even when the call came, I told God, let me use the black hair to jive and shopulate life like the people of the world says, and then we now use the old one to come and with a rod and with opa, we come and tear it and tear the opa to the altar. But God says, go on now. And then I thank God, looking back, I've never regretted ever yielding to Him. Even though you go through trials, you go through tests, you go through temptation, you go through challenges, but still all of those things keep you strong as you go by. Because there are new experience that is coming your way that you have never encountered before. And then when you now see God getting you through, seeing you through, and you are getting to the other side, then you realize that, wow, I could not have crossed that bridge by myself. It has been God ever since. So, and those are great things, of how God has kept one. Because without the life of God in one's life, there is nothing that one can, even amount to on the earth. So, aside from that, there's that testimony of salvation. Another testimony that rings bell, in this stage or this new phase of life is the one that happened when after I left the Bible college, where we were posted after Bible college training to serve as a pastor. And I was there serving, and then the voice of God came clearly without even you making a mistake about it. And God says, step out and go and start what I asked to start. I say, wow, what does that mean? So I kept quiet. I neglected the voice. I continued to do stuff. And another time came, I was in a fast and a prayer, and the same voice came. What are you doing here? Step out and go and do what I asked to do. Now, I was serving in a known denomination then. So I was expecting that, okay, if I have to do anything back and forth, either within or outside the country, this known denomination will be good to roll with. So, and I was thinking I would just continue to enjoy life with them there as a minister. So, and when God said step out, I was so confused. So I began to ask questions, I began to move from place to place. And then, the funniest thing was that the people I went to, my area pastor, my provincial pastor, they confused me the more. So I was like, yes, sir, okay, no problem. So I have to go back. And I sat back and said, God, I knew what you said. This is not in my way. This is not my plan. This is not my stuff. I don't even want to leave this comfort zone. So, but how come that the people are not understanding this? Because you will expect people ahead of you to be able to understand when you are hearing voice like Samuel, and they will be able to go back and tell you, go back to your sleep. And when he speak again, say you are hearing. But they confuse you the more. So, and then when I eventually summoned the courage, I realized one thing, that if I don't take that step, then I will be the one that will be blamed. And then the story of the young man in the book of King came to play, because there was a young king, a young prophet that God sent to an old prophet, and the old prophet God told the young prophet, go to this old prophet, give him this message, and go through road A. And then when you are leaving the old prophet house, go through road B. Don't go back the same way you came, and don't eat in his house. Don't do anything in his house. And the funniest thing was that this young prophet got there. He delivered the message to the old prophet as God sent him, and he was about going He already left through the road B. He didn't follow road A. And then on the way, the old prophet came and like, where is this young man? They say, sir, he has gone. They say, go and call him for me. So the young prophet came back, and the old prophet told him, they say, you didn't eat. What happened? Say, in my house. The young prophet said, sir, I said, come on, sit down, eat. So the old prophet commanded the young prophet to sit down and eat. So the young prophet honored the old prophet, and he sat down and he dishonored God. He sat down and he ate in the old prophet's house. On his way, he followed the road B. On his way out of the old prophet's house, back to his own destination, a lion caught up with him, devoured him. Why? Because he refused to yield to the voice of God. He yielded to the voice of the old prophet. Probably because of experience or because of one. So that story came to my mind when I was meditating, and God said, you step out, I've told you what to do. So how come you are still looking at what people are saying? So I like, God, what am I going to do? So I step out because I knew in that context that the old prophet was among those that bury the young prophet. He was even the one that prayed over the dead body. And then he was the one that confused the young man. But the funniest thing I saw there was that God never blamed the old prophet. I said, wow. So I packed my stuff and put them together. I went back to the major province of the particular denomination. I went to drop the key. So I went to the area pastor. I let him know I'm going. So I went officially to let them know I'll be going. Even whatever happened on this journey is between me and God. So it's better I leave than for me to stay here and then get devoured. Yes. So, and then I step out. So, and now when I came back to Lagos, because that was far away, somewhere between Okebode, or is a village between Osun and Shogbo. That was where I was serving. So, when I came back to Lagos, I was confused the more because I was expecting things would happen. I was expecting to get place to be able to start and stay. So, the more I talked to people, even in Lagos, the more confused I was because they were telling me, you are too calm to be a pastor. You are too right to be a pastor. You are too cool to be a pastor. You don't even have the energy to confront somebody. You are a shy person. How can you come now and say you want to? It's not possible. So I was confused the more. So, and then I now went to God. What should I do? God says, do this and do that. And one of the things that he told me to do is to, call people together and then, do inauguration. I say, but from our teaching in the Bible class, inauguration come after you have gathered people and they have known that church is about to start, and then you now use them to, after like a month or 3 or 4, everybody is getting stable. Then you now say, okay, let's do inauguration. He said, no, you do your own first. I said, okay. So I now use that opportunity to call on God. I say, God, now maybe I'm still hearing myself. And so what we're going to do is this inauguration, we fix a date, November 2nd, that particular year. And then the inauguration, that season, the rain still fell. Rain is still falling seriously. So, and then it will happen to be a Saturday. So I invited a senior pastor friend that were in the college together. He's an elderly person to come and minister on that day because I don't want to get involved. I don't want to do it like a birthday. And so that if I'm still confused about the calling, then I can easily go back from there and nobody will know that anything happened. So, and then I fixed that date, November 2nd, as the Holy Spirit gave the inspiration. And then, funny enough, the week that that is Monday that precedes that Saturday of November 2nd of that year, rain fell like no man's business. I said, God. So I now went to God. I said, God, this is what I'm going to do. If you have not called me and you didn't send me to start the church, please, in your power, in your might, let rain distort the event. Let those that are coming not be able to get to the event with the rain. Let us in the venue of the event, let rain drain us, drench us. Let us soak, with rain. So that the whole event will not take place. That way I will know that I was being confused all the while. Even though I've been back on 1 year training and the rest of it. So let rain just scatter everything. Because, so Monday, Tuesday, rain fell. Wednesday, rain fell. Thursday, rain fell. I said, good, thank God. By Friday morning, the cloud was so thick. Rain fell like no man's business. I said, good, thank God. Saturday morning, the second is the Sunday. Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. Saturday morning, rain started, and I said, God, thank you. With serious blast of thunder. Wow. So, because honestly, the thing I encountered even at the place I was posted to, under a known denomination, I know it's going to be too stressful for an independent work. So, I wasn't willing, and I was not ready to go on it at all. I'm not ready to do the work at all, but I don't want to be disobedient, and I don't want to be, now, like I said the other time, I was already down. There is no money, there's nothing, so there is no agreement you can do. You don't have money to do any agreement. So I just like, okay, now let the rain fall and destroy the old stuff. And now Sunday came, By Sunday morning, it was meant to be 2 p.m., November 2nd of that year. And Sunday morning came, the cloud was so thick, very dark. I said, God, thank you. From at around 10, it was still dark. 12, it was still dark. So, and then, you have the whole place clouded. I said, God, thank you. Just let the rain soak everybody. I'll just assume that it was just me that was just thinking, and I sent myself to the college. I didn't know what I was talking about. I even left where they posted me. I didn't even know what I was doing. So let it just happen. It was going to be between me and you. And then on the Sunday, by 12, rain drizzle all around the place. But the area where, the venue of the event, it was so dry. When I went out to carry share with somebody that came to assist me, I was disappointed. I said, why is the rain falling here and it's not falling at our side? Why? So we carried the share, we arranged, we carried the canopy, we put everything together. So we saw the rain fell in that place. It wasn't falling. I said, why is the rain not falling here now? So, and then we started the event around 2 p.m. So most of the people that went to their respective churches, they came, friends, family, and then relatives. So our pastor friend I invited, the elderly one, came also, he ministered. So we were there. And from the beginning to the end, because I told myself that I will only tell them at the end, when the rain has soaked all of us, that this is what happened. No, please go to your house. The inauguration has ended everything. I have been able to clarify that I was not sent to serve the church. I was just deceiving myself. So we did the stuff from 2 p.m. till 4 p.m. No rain. Everything went smoothly. But the funniest thing was that in the course of the program, people were calling me that it was raining seriously. At like 3 kilometers, 5 kilometers around to the north, to the south, to the west, to the east of the venue. It was raining seriously. Few kilometers away from us, serious rain that we could see the gutter with water rolling by. And then the venue was dry from 2 till 4 that we did the event. And then I say, there's no rain here. They say, rain caught them. It was because of rain. They could not even leave their house. I said, thank God for your life. So stay there. We are plenty here because the venue is already filled. Wow. One thing is that I'm not a party person. I've never do party before in my life. So when I sent invite to people, you are like, you got to get together for what? I say, you just get together for. So they came. So, and then the place was filled already. Many could not get to the venue because of the rain. But the venue was dry. And all the northeast, south of the place, 2 kilometers away, were filled with water. Serious rain. Wow. I say, God, what is this? So it was done on me that I have no choice but to do his will. Because he has used that to stamp it and clarify it. So after we had the whole event, the man preached and we did everything. So I have to pick the mic and appreciate everybody and announce to them that this is what I asked God for. And to God be the glory, we all are witness that the rain did not disturb us here, but from all over the place, rain has been falling. If that is when people now say, when we were coming, it was raining, we just passed. When we were coming, we have to carry umbrella. Many could not even come because the rain stopped them at one corner or the other. So I now realized that I have no choice. So the night of the storm, I was just weeping and crying and say, God, how am I going to be a pastor? I don't know how to be a pastor. I don't know how to do it. So, but it was done on me that at this point, you have no
choice than to start it.
So, and that is the one major remarkable testimony, and it was so glorious that, like, does it happen this way? Because when you see the prophet of the old command rain, command this, you like, does it happen truly, or they have used something to touch their tongue? So, and that is one testimony that I can't forget all my life. So, and that was how we launched into the work. So, and everything went on. Rain all over the place, and the venue dry like normal business, except for gutter that were having water that was flowing. And then another testimony that comes to mind, is a testimony of a young child that died at Songo. Now, when the ministry began, we'll be already running back and forth, and then I went to God because I realized that God gave Moses the rod. He gave different of his prophets, one thing or the other, as a medium of ministry. So, and I have to go to God and say, God, what are the things that you will give me? The place I've been to, they use anointing oil, they use this one, they use mantle, they use this, they use that. But God, what is the specific stuff? Because I discovered from reading that until you work with the pattern that God gives you as a person, as a minister, as a pastor, you'll be working with other people's pattern, not knowing that God has not even handed over or revealed your own to you. So I have to go to God and start praying. And then one of the mysteries that God gave us out of the three is the alabaster mire. And that alabaster mire, we pray on it ordinarily and we have testimony from the first day. So, and then one of our members bought and gave to his daughter.
Okay.
So the daughter used it, and she has even got testimony from her own business of what the alabaster Maya, has done. Miraculous, attracting favor and repelling evil part time. So this daughter of one of the member, a day she came back from work and realized there was noise in her neighbor's apartment. And they say, what happened? They say, the boy, one of the child of the neighbor just died. He said, died. They say, has he been sick? They say, he was just saying he has headache. And that was how he just died. So they called a nurse. A nurse came in and she tested the boy, dead. They brought in a doctor. He tested the young lad, dead. Wow. So the person, in her own apartment just run out of the apartment with the alabaster Maya in her hand. And then she's like, what happened? They say, the boy has died. Doctor is just going. See the nurse. She said the boy is dead. So that one just go to where the boy is, the dead child is, and sprinkle the Maya on her. The first time. The second time she sprinkled the Maya. The third time she sprinkled the Maya, the boy sneezed out.
Wow.
And jacked back to life. And she was like, wow, everybody shouted. They began to make noise and praise God. So the lady has to come to the church to come and give the testimony. Wow. That the Maya she left with, she came bought more when she was going back. I just sat down after that testimony. I like, God, even in my absence, you were still very, very present, even in the medium that was prayed over and given to people. And that brought to mind the scripture that says Peter was going and his shadow were raising the dead. Apostle Paul sent handkerchief, and the handkerchief were commanding graces and wonder whatever they took it, take it to. I was like, wow. So Maya from here can go places and raise the dead. Wow. So I gave God praise for that event of that act. So it was so marvelous and so glorious. So I'm like, wow, God, you are so good. So those are the things that encourage more in the course of the work, because you get wearied out, you get burnt out sometimes, you challenges that confront you sometimes weigh you down, but there is nobody you can talk to. Everybody see you up there and like, oh, you know what he's doing, don't worry, let's go to pastor. They bring their problem to you, and you have nobody to take your problem to. So even when you speak to mentors and once in a while, they encourage you, but still deep within what you are suffering from, many may not understand. So, and that testimony, really was a powerful encouragement. Because I'm like, wow, so this Maya will work like this. I said, wait, thank God. Another testimony of that Maya that also come to mind, making the third one, is when we did it like a Sunday. That was the day God revealed it to me. So like a Sunday, when we did it on a Sunday, and everybody took it home after praying over it, and then they took it home. And I, God, please prove yourself, because me, I don't even believe in what I just done. But I want to know if you are the one that asked me to do it, and you are the one that did it. And then by the Monday morning, somebody just called me around afternoon. The person told me that on the Monday morning, that several people have been owing her. So, and as we pray on the Maya, and what God told me is that it will attract favor to people and repel evil from them. So, and then she said that she wake up that morning, instead of her to run to her place of business, she just sat back because she's a business owner. So she sat back in the house, do one thing or that. So she took her bait and then used the Maya on herself, along with other stuff, and then she perfumed her body with it, and then she sat down in the house doing one thing or the other. She said you just see her phone ringing with calls. People that have been owing her, they kept calling. One call and say he's doing transfer immediately. One call and say he will pay part. One call and say he will pay in the evening. Another one call and say he has just little, but this little you don't want to hold it. These people have been owing her for months. But that very morning, they were just sending and transferring money to her. He said, sir, I can't believe this. See what happened? She was sharing that testimony with me in the afternoon. I went to my knees. I ran back to the church. I left the office. I was just praying and praising God. That I don't know this thing will work. Now see the way wonder is happening. So I praise God and I thank God for that particular one, because it shows clearly, truly, that God gives, mysteries to his prophets for them to do the work that he wants them to do. Because without a tool in your hands, as a prophet, as a servant of God, you'll just be following others. You won't be able to do unique work for God. So, and that testimony also comes to mind, and I went to the altar and I praised God for it. And ever since, that was the same Maya that attracted me to somebody. It was the same Maya that raised the dead. Wow. So, another testimony that comes to mind was, a couple came to the office to see me. That would be number 4. Okay, they came to the office to see me one day, and what was the problem? They told me that they are just coming from the hospital, that the doctor checked the wife, and the doctor said to the wife, the woman, that the baby in her is big, and where the baby need to pass to come out for normal delivery is small compared to the size of the baby.
Okay, sir.
So, and then that she can't deliver by herself, even though she's due, but they said she will still need like a week or two before they can even operate on her. That the baby is still intact, the water is intact, and everything is in place, so that she can't deliver by herself. So the wife and the husband went together to the hospital. So the wife got scared. He said, how can she does not want operation, because that was the first delivery. He doesn't want operation, this and that. So the husband like, okay, we are done. God has given the report, and he has given you what to you go and use. So let's go. So, and the wife, according to them, they both convinced themselves that don't let us go home. Let's go and meet pastor in the office. So they came to the office. I didn't even know why they came. So, and when they came, I just got them engaged in discussion back and forth, and we got talking. So at the time, I was like, okay, so what are you guys? How come you come at this? I said, well, see, this is what we come for. I said, now, when they are telling the story, I was not imagining. They told you in the hospital that you can't deliver except with CS, and the baby is big. Now, what do you expect a pastor to do? So, and after they got talking back and forth, they were like, the truth of the matter is this, I'm scared. I don't want operation. I said, okay, what do we do? So I was there as they were talking. People many times believe that most pastors know what they are doing. Many times, you are just looking at it and say, what did these people expect me to do? What can I do in this case?
In that kind of situation.
So as I was looking at them, and one thing that I've always leverage on is to pray to the Holy Spirit. When people are talking to me, they are coming in for counseling or coming in for something, I always communicate with him. And as they were talking, I was just like, Holy Spirit, what should I do? What can I do in this kind of situation? I've never heard of it before. I've never read testimony of it before. Now, what do you expect me to do? Doctor said next 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Even though you are due. And then the baby is even too big. And in that 2 weeks, they are even going to operate. So what am I to do with all this? So as I was praying, Holy Spirit just told me what to do. He said, pray with the two of them. Pray with the husband, pray with the wife. And pray this prayer this way. And then after you are done praying with them, give them the communion. So and that was what I did. So I quickly called one or two persons that was with the office, get me the communion, So they prepared the communion for me. So I said, let's go upstairs. So I took them upstairs because we're using the upstairs hall for the service in church then. So I went upstairs with the two husband and wife. So we had pre-session, we had prayer session. So and because of the prayer, I command, as God told me by the help of the Holy Spirit. I said, baby, you are coming out, and I reduce you back to this normal size for normal delivery. So I spoke as the Spirit of God led me, and then you are coming out normal. Your mother will not have to use operation, or doctor will not have to use operation on your mother to bring you out. So I command and I decree as the Spirit of God gave me utterance. So when I was done with all the praying, even though I was just praying it as I had it, myself, I don't even know how or what will happen. So and as I did the prayer with them, I served the communion. So I gave the wife and also gave the husband too. So, and okay, let's see how it goes. So you take the communion, I pray with them, I decree all the Holy Spirit told me to decree. I said, baby, normal size, I reduce to normal size, all the excess of top, take it out, we are taking it. So, and they left the office after I prayed with them. And the funniest thing was that like 3-4 hours after, I just received the husband's call. He said the wife gave birth. I said, gave birth what?
Wow.
He said, when? He said today. I said, how come? He said, as soon as they left the office, they have not drove up to 5 minutes from the office when the water broke in the car.
Wow.
That when the water broke, just like said she saw water flowing through her body.
Wow.
All the seat is wet. She told the husband, take me to the hospital straight. So the husband drove her straight to the hospital. And then on getting to the hospital, they rushed her in. Before they put her on the bed, blah, 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 by labor, whatever, she gave birth.
Wow.
Normal. Wow. They called the doctor that told her, return to her in the morning. And like, this woman that came in the morning came and gave birth. They could say it never possible. It can never be. That until he sees her with his own eye, he can never believe that the woman he checked in the morning could give birth in the evening of that day. So the husband now come and says, man of God, thank God, this is what happened. My wife, as we left your place, not up to 5-minute drive, the water broke, and I drove her straight to the hospital. And then now she's delivered. I said, wow, to God be the glory. So I went back to the altar and said, God, is this how you work? I just kept thanking God and appreciating him for that privilege to be used of him. Because now when the doctor came in the morning, he refused to believe. He was not asking children, where did you guys go to? How did you do it? That was when they told them they went to meet a pastor and they prayed with them. He said, only God could have done this.
Wow.
That was when the doctor believed. He said, only God could have done this. Because with all medical proof, this is never possible.
This is never possible.
So, and when that happened and they called, I was like, wow, we thank God. Because when the baby came out, doctor said the size he saw inside is not the size he saw outside. So, and I just appreciate God when that happened. I'm like, wow, God, I give you all the praise. So, and it rose to the fact that it can happen that way. And God is God. So, and that is number 4 now. So, another testimony come to mind. And this one was so peculiar.
Okay.
A couple had a child, two. And the two they had were male. First male, second male. So, and they've been going to a major, denomination before they came to the church. So, and when they came, we got talking, we got praying, and we just move on. I never knew what their desire might be or whatever. So, as we continue to pray together and, worship together. So, one day I called them, what do you want? What is happening? So, that was when the wife opened up to me and told me, she has, after the last delivery, that she has had 6 miscarried. That she will be pregnant, and one thing, something will happen over the night in the course of her sleep, and the next thing she will see is water. Blood. I say, but you guys will have told me. I say, no, they kept praying, and they believe in the faith that we preach, that they know that God will do it. I say, okay, God will do it, but let's bring it on the table to be a priority file before God. So, and then I called the both of them. I went back to prayer, and I want to seek the face of God for the right timing. Because one thing with God is that when the timing of God is not right, there is nothing you can do as a person. Okay. Most of the pastors that will tell you they can make it happen, you can't predict God. If you have been used of God, you will know that the way it will come, you will not know.
You will not know. So
that is why it's always appropriate that even you must seek the face of God. When people now come and tell you that, they will do this way and to happen this way, just go and check them. They are mechanical pastors. Who is a mechanical pastor? Is somebody that has put some physical measures in place to manifest something. And they will manifest it. Like, for instance, somebody is coming to an event and he already sent his spies to go and get people's name, get their phone number, get their address, and get one thing, and then on coming back and then coming to the place, new. People say, he's a new prophet is coming. And he has mechanically machined people into their midst to find out information. And when he getting there, say, hey, you are here. This is your name, and this is your phone number. Somebody will run out. So these are mechanical testimonies. So I don't know how God will do it. But I have to go back to God. What are you saying about this case? And God said the time is now. I said, okay. So I was full of confidence that the time is now. So I called the couple. I said, man, come. What do you want? The husband said he wants a female. The wife still said he wants a female because they already had 2 boys. I said, okay, you want 2 female? a male. A female. Okay, good. God can do it. So, and I prayed with the 2 of them. And then right there when I prayed with them, Holy Spirit inspired me to place order, like in a restaurant, for the female child. So, and I joined hands with them and we pray together. In those days, there's no COVID. So you can still hold hands and pray with people. Or like what we have today. You can't hold somebody's hand again.
You won't even want to get close to them.
So, and we held hands together and we prayed. And then I placed orders, the Holy Spirit God inspired. I said, host of heaven, God of heaven, I order today for a female child into this family. 9 months from now, let there be a delivery of a female child in this household. At the time we were praying, the wife told me that she was not pregnant. So, and that is it. We just placed the order and I prayed with them and I left them. So, like a month or 2 after, the wife called me and like, sir, I am pregnant now. I said, okay, thank God you are pregnant. So we expect a female child. He said, but that time that I was praying that she was not pregnant too. I say, it is well. God has done it. He has begun this way. And he that began from this level, he will perfect it. So, and the order we placed was a female. So me, I have confidence that a female will come. So, and then 3 months into the pregnancy, the usual stuff come again. Wow. So, fortunately, I was around the area. at the time, I think I passed the night even in their house. I didn't even have any plan for that. So, but something just happened that I could not go to my own place. So I had to pass the night in the house because I was praying, doing some prayer around the church, and then their own place is so close to the church. So I was there to, pass the night. So they cooked for me. I ate everybody. So I slept on the couch because I still had to go to the compound in their premises to still pray more over the night. So as I was there on the couch, around I've been out, I returned back. So I was there on the couch around 3. They just had noise from their bedroom. So the husband and the wife just rushed out. What happened? They say how she used to feel, in those other miscarriage, that she's feeling the same way. I said, devil is a liar. For him to have done it at the time I'm in your house, he has failed. Wow. So I calm her down. I pray with her. I tell them to bring the anointing what they have in the house. I anointed her. I pray over her. I pray for her. So I told her, sleep on the place where I just slept. Don't go back to your room. You sleep where me I just told. Let me see the devil that will come and meet you where I just slept. So, and so she slept on the couch. And then I had to go back to the premises. So the husband could not go back inside. So he used to sat on this single seater around her there looking at her. So, and then with time, she slept off on that couch where I just lie down, and then she slept up there. So the husband too was dozing on the single seater. So later I came after like 2 or 3 hours, and I told her, okay, you can go and sleep on your bed. I said, no, she will sleep in that place.
Wow.
So she slept on the couch, and the husband was, has to go back inside. So me, I have to sit on the single seater to watch her over the night. So, and to God be the glory, she didn't have the miscarriage. There was no blood stain, till morning time. So, and that was how she carried through 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, 9 months. So 9 months came, and they are like, God, we order for a female. So, the God be the glory. When she put to bed, female.
Wow.
When they called me, I'm like, it's a female. I said, wow, we thank God. Because we have already given the child name the day we were placing order 9 months ago. So, and so many things were done. They will be buying clothes. I said, just don't worry yourself. Go and buy female clothes. A female is coming to your family. And 9 months after, a female show up. So, and today, to the glory of God, the family is rising and growing with them. So, and I told her, this is a living testimony that nobody can even forget. So each time I see the girl move around the church, I'm like, wow, this is a living testimony. So, and there was another instance. In that testimony brought about another one, which can be the number 6 now. So, brought about another one. Another family had a female as first.
Okay.
So, now they say the second one, they want a male. When they heard the testimony of those families,
wow.
So
God.
the wife too had a pregnancy, which they didn't inform me. So she was already pregnant. So something just happened, maybe stress or whatever. She had a miscarriage. So it was after she had miscarriage that they called me and told me. They came to the house after the service to like, this is what happened. We don't even know how to inform you. I said, okay. And what happened? So they told us, no, let's put this right, put that right. Don't do this again, do that again. So don't allow stress again next time. So, but God will do something. So, and that should be the week that she had the miscarriage. So I also pray with the two of them. I said, now, sir, what do you want? He said he wants a male. Yeah, what do you want? He said I said, for the two of you to have had an agreement in the spirit, let's place order. They say, that is what they want to say. That from the testimony they had. I said, okay, let's place order. So, and we place order. I prayed with the two of them that day, and we order for a male child in 9 months. And to God be the glory, 9 months after, they too gave birth to a male child.
Wow.
So I was like, God, so you can repeat testimonies. I was so happy when she delivered, and I'm like, God, you are God. And there is none like you. So those testimonies kept encouraging the journey. No matter how seemingly, tight things might be, no matter how difficult it might be, I kept remembering those testimonies. Because I remember the fact that if David had forgotten that God killed the bear through him, God killed the lion through him, he would not have been able to have the courage to confront Goliath. So whenever I confront any big challenge, what I used to encourage myself is the testimony of what God has done. And it always gives me the courage that God had did those one, he will do this one again. So, and it's something so wonderful when you remember and recount what God has done. Now, let me share a 7th one. Then we have a little, you can have your questions. And now the 7th one come to play. I went to South Africa, and on my way from Nigeria, the guy that prepared my document and the rest of it told me, because I wanted to book an hotel to stay. So the guy that booked, did the stuff told me that, oh, sir, don't worry, I have a brother in South Africa. He will come and pick you at the airport. He will take you to his house. If you can stay with him, all well and good, because it's just him and the wife that are there for now. Okay. If you cannot stay with him, after playing with them for some time, you can go to your hotel. Okay. I said, no problem. There's no crime in that. So instead of looking for cab, and I don't even know them, I don't even hear the language, so it's good that a Nigerian will come and pick me. Yes, sir. So I agreed to my friend, and then on getting to South Africa, I came out of the airport. Right there, the guy was waiting at the, what's it called? At the place, in reception, to take me. So, and then we have stuff that we have already, like, okay, code and whatever. Then they also will write my name in a stuff. So when I got to the arrival, I saw him. So we got to meet, and then he picked me up. So he drove me straight to his house. So on getting to his house, I met the wife. So when I saw the wife was heavily pregnant. I said, like, wow, this one is serious. So, and I came in, they brought in my bags and the rest of it. So I came in, I said, let me just relax a little. So as soon as I saw the wife was heavily pregnant, I said, no, I can't stay here. Thank God. I prepared myself. So the guy would take me to an hotel in the evening. So, and as I was there, relaxing and try to just, calm my nerve and from the whole stress of the flight. And this people just said, that is the assignment you are here for. Wow. I said, which assignment? He said, this one. I said, I didn't come here to do pastor work. I came here to relax at least for 2 or 3 weeks. So, that is the assignment you are here for. I said, does it mean I'm not going to go to the hotel? He said, I'm not going to any hotel. I said, So, I zero my mind. So, the lady came in, heavily pregnant. She gave me drinks and then she left. So, on her way returning back, with food, I just saw her again, as if I didn't see her before. I just saw her, and I saw marks on her. And she was heavily pregnant. When I saw the mark, I was surprised. I was like, wow. And I said, madam, sorry. I saw some mark on you. He said, no, there's no mark. Because normal skin is normal, physically. He said, no, there's no mark. And I said, no, I saw marks on you. But these are spiritual mark. So the husband too, was there with us and like, Saki Lerisa. So the one was like, she pastor on his So, and I saw some mark on you, and with this mark on you, spiritually, there is no way you can deliver. Because the one thing about life is this: is an empty barrel that makes the biggest noise. If you are loaded, if you are anointed, if you have the prophetic grace, you don't need to start making noise to get it done. I was just calm. I was not in a service of setting. I was not in a fasting. I've just come from a long trip. So and I saw those marks. And I thought that with this mark, you can't deliver. So we need to get this mark off you before the day of delivery. He said, she opened her mouth and she was surprised. And the husband said, sir, are you a pastor? I said, hey, catch you do first. If you are a pastor, like. So, and the husband was like, what can we do, sir? I said, well, we're going to do something about it and God will take control. So, and as I was there, I was asking the Holy Spirit, what am I going to do with them? Holy Spirit said, fasting. I said, okay, good. I'm used to fasting. Even when there is plenty food, I say I want to fast. So, and South Africa is filled with food. You will eat and be tired of eating. So, and I said, no, I didn't come here to fast. But this fasting, well, let's see how it goes. So, and I told them, we're going to fast. I said, I will fast too, sir. I will fast. I said, no, not you. Me and your husband will fast for you. You are too loaded to fast. The load in you is more than fasting. So, and that was when she now opened up and told me that I'll be the 4th pastor that will be giving her the same message. Wow. That she was surprised to hear that again, because those that have given her, they've had prayer with her. And she felt that it has gone. Must have been cleared. Wow. So, I don't like, me, I don't, let's take it this way. I'll be the 4th pastor, but God will use me to clear this, because He can't have these marks on you and give birth. Either there will be a stillbirth or something will happen. So you can't have this mark and give birth. I said, don't worry. I will not be a pastor that you will number among those ones, but God will use me for you. So, and then myself and the husband, we had a fast 3 days. So, and then after 3 days, I called them together and I prayed with them and anointed them with the oil. So, and what happened was that in the course of the prayer, I just declared 7 days time you are giving birth. I don't even know our time. I don't know our EDD. I don't know our due date. I don't know anything. So as I was praying, Holy Spirit just inspired those words. I just prophesied those words. In 7 days, you are going to put the bed, and by the power of God, nothing will stop you. Every hand of the enemy is cleared. So as after declaring those things, later I was like, what have I put myself into? I came here for 3 weeks. I'm declaring somebody will give birth in 7 days. Wow, it's going to concern me with all these things. So we had 3 days fasting, and the 7 days were declared. So, and then after that prayer, that was when the husband and the wife were not telling me that she had had one pregnancy before, and that was a stillbirth. Oh. That she gave birth to the baby, and the baby died. I said, wow. I said, this sign cannot be on you, and it's not possible. He said, we are prayed. God has intervened, and God will do something great. So, to God be the glory. To fast forward the old stuff because of our time. I was with them the 6th night of the 7 days declared, from the 3 days after declaring those things. So, the 6th night, I was in the house with the husband. She went to work and still returned back around 8:30. So, as soon as she returned back, she was to cook for the house. So everybody is preparing and this and that, back and forth. So, and she was in the kitchen when she came back to the sitting area. And I'm like, she's feeling so much. So I told her, yeah, come, sit down, come. So we come out, the husband to return. So we come out. So, and before you know what's happening, she said, she's feeling something. I said, something wicked. Me, I don't know. So, and I told the husband, can you call a cab? Let's take her to the hospital. So we called a cab and we drove her. We called a cab, the cab came and we took her to the hospital straight. And that was around 9 in the evening. So we took her straight to the hospital. As soon as we got to the hospital, they roll her in. So, and they check her registration and the rest of it, everything intact. So they roll her to the stop. So around that time, it was around 10, 11. So, and as she rolled in, and they say, sir, hey, Badra, sir, can you say, don't worry. Sir, this is the 6th night, sir. You said 7 days. I said, don't worry yourself. God is in control. Meanwhile, as I was telling him God is in control, me, I'm still praying inside God. Don't fail yourself, but don't fail your son. No. To God be the glory. By 20 to 12, she gave birth. Wow. She met several pregnant women in the labor room. She was among the first set that gave birth that night. Wow. So, and she gave birth to a baby girl, and then, and when the husband can say, she gave birth, I said, we thank God. So me too, I went back to God in one corner of the hospital. I said, God, thank you for proving your words. The 6th night of the 7 days. So it now rose to the fact that within that 7 days, God intervened. And the child was brought back to life. Was delivered ill and hairy. Wow. And the mother too was able to put to bed like the Hebrew woman. All the declaration, all the prophecy in the course of the prayer came to pass. And then I just went to one corner and said, God, we thank you. So the husband quickly ran to the house. So I waited to go and bring the baby stuff because we just don't know what's happening. He does not know. But I told him, keep calm. It's because you want to give us. Yeah, but sir, so he now went back to the house, bring the baby stuff and the other stuff. And that was how they prepared the baby and the mother and rode them to the ward because he did the normal delivery. So, and in around 1, we were able to see her before we left the hospital to go back to the house. So these testimonies, when I got there, I was like, is this what I came to do in South Africa? I came to enjoy and relax for 3 weeks. Now it's pastoral work, running up and down over member again. Wow. So, and we thank God because, before I left, we had the naming ceremony and the baby's name was Sharon. I said, well, this one is a good one. So, and those are things that kept the journey going. Because when you pray to God, you see the hand of God, you see God manifest, you have but no choice but to keep on keeping on in strength because you know God is God and has ever been God. And so these are the testimonies that kept on going because you just cannot place that as what you could do or what you have made happen. You can only ascribe all the glory and all the honor unto the King of Kings and the Lord of all for everything that he has done.
Wow. Wow, Daddy, thank you. Please don't forget to send your questions to +234 8054281604. And Daddy, these testimonies, they're very encouraging. And viewers, do you know why we listen to testimonies at times? It's to encourage ourselves. It's like a support system that we need at times because things might not just be going the way we want it. Probably you have your list of God, I want you to do this 1 to 10, and you can see that it's just 3 that God has done. You are feeling like discouraged. When you now hear people's testimony, it will boost yourself, like it will boost you up, like, God, if you can do this, then you can actually do this too. And in whatever God is doing part-time, we should also be grateful, because when you are grateful for one, then you can also do many. So please, I'm still expecting our questions. Daddy, Thank you very much. Okay, we have questions here already. And it says, sir, lots of pastors have quitted ministry because of betrayals and lots of challenges. Which of the testimonies kept you till today? Like, Daddy, like, can you say this particular testimony is what has kept me going?
Well, the thing there is this. You have to sum all together.
Okay.
Because one, that first one about the inaugural service, you know, I've seen a movie. I've heard of the old prophets that were able to speak to rain, talk to rain, you know, and speak to mountain, talk to mountain, and the rest of it. And you can never imagine you in that class.
Okay.
So, and because after I spoke to God, you know, I have to still declare on the rain that nothing contrary should happen. Because one thing the devil can do is this: once you have called on God, that God should give you sign that if the rain fall, is a sign that he didn't call you. If rain did not fall and not disturb the program, is a sign that you are not called. That means if the rain fall. But if the rain did not fall, is a proof that you are called of God. The devil could have seen the future and program in his own plan to let rain fall to cut you off God's plan. So I have to do two things that very morning, which I did over the week too, because I had a fasting all through that week, preparing and praying for that, because I was taught fasting in the Bible college. You know, I've never fasted in my life before. Even when you say maybe by 12 I break. But in the college, they took us through 3 days dry, 7 days dry. So I put myself through fasting, and I told myself, and that day morning I declare, God, if you have not called me, let the rain fall. But if you called me, let the rain not disturb us. So I now speak to the rain that never yield to the voice of anybody that is not of God. Never allowed you the voice of any being, not even the devil, bring you down in this place. You know, that is commanding and speaking to the elementals. Because the devil could have opened the rain up and bring it down to discourage you and show you that, oh, can you see now? The rain not fall. Yeah, go and sit down somewhere. Why? Because he has seen the future of what you will be use of God. So, and then you have the proof that God has not called you. So you went back to your closet and start your normal life. And God expected that you do something for him. So I was able to speak to the elementals. And then they yielded. And then several other times, even after that, we have had more than 4 or 5 times that we're having 2 days program, 1 day program, and they say rain is one. I say, what is rain? You are guy, stay for us. So 2 days you are not falling here. And after 2 days you can fall. Several times we have had that. Speaking to the elementals. Now the question out there is this: when you see all those things manifest through your own tiny life and your tiny mouth, you can't ascribe the glory to yourself. Now what else will you now use your life to do than to yield to the voice of that God and stick to whatever it tells you to do? So giving up is not an option. Why? You have low states, you have down states, you have discouraging states, you have said that you are down, you have said that you are depressed. But to run off from God is not a choice. It's not even a thought. You don't even give it a thought. Now when pastors, you know, run off from God, 2 things could have happened. One, they may not have been able to confirm their calling from the beginning.
Okay.
2, the devil intervened, by discouraging them out of the will of God, using people. Because one thing that I can tell any pastor, or that any pastor can confirm, especially genuine, that is not mechanically making it happen, is the fact that people will betray you. Excuse me. People will betray you in ministry. There is nothing you can do about that. People will lie against you. People will misquote you. They will misjudge you. So, and they are the one you are thinking you are meant to serve. Look at the case of Moses. He was coming down from the mountain. And God said, when you get downstairs, the people are thirsty. When you get there, speak to the rock and they will have water to quench their thirst. And when Moses got down, the same people that God has instructed him about were shouting on him. You are making noise. What is wrong with you? You want to come and kill us here? You should have left us in Egypt. The guy too got angry. And instead of him to speak to the rock, he struck the rock with the rod in his hand. And thousands and plenty of those people got drowned by the force of the water that came out of that rock. And then when that happened, many of them drowned that day and they died. Now the question there is this. At the time that Moses was supposed to die, the devil came and said, see, this is your servant. He was a murderer and he never repented from the sin of murder. The people you asked him to look after, he drowned many of them because they pushed him to the wall and he got angry and he struck the rock instead of him speaking to the rock. And God said, eh. So if Moses had died a natural death, the devil will drag him to hell because God is a just God. So that was why God bypassed that agenda. So he now decided to use the exit not of death for Moses, but to use the exit, the same exit he used for Elijah. Moses he told Moses, let's go on a walk. So Moses took a few of his servants and they went walking. They walked in, leaving the people in the wilderness and walked more into the wilderness. And when he got to a place, God told him, leave these people here. You alone, I want to talk with you. Come alone. So he led the people at the place and he walked alone with God. And from there, God hijacked him and took him off. Till tomorrow, there is nowhere that they have sepulchre or tomb of Moses. If God has not used that divine intervention, the people that God asked Moses to look after, they will have destroyed him. So that's why when the people of God are attached to ministry, they bring pain and ache and become thorn in the neck of the pastor. Many pastors that have not confirmed their calling, they will chicken out. Because it's not an easy task. You look at people that you are praying for and they are looking at you as if you are the one that is using them. And you know that they are the one draining you. But still they are telling you that you are using them. So there's no way you not get angry like, let me just go and do my life. So many people have been discouraged out because they did not confirm the ministry. They did not confirm the calling. They did not confirm the content of the assignment. And that was why all those things I did at the beginning were to confirm. So if I had not had those confirmation, probably most likely me too could have worked out on God. But because I had direct confirmation of the calling, of what I'm meant to do, of the assignment, then it becomes so easy for me to look back and remember those days and remember those testimonies and make up my mind never to disappoint God or deny God. Now look at the case of Gideon. God told him he would deliver the Midianites, his people from the ends of the Midianites. And Gideon said, God, I know you, but you can see I was hiding in this place to grind meal for me and my family. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to get confirmation from you. And that was from that queue, I did what I did. If you are the one calling me and spoke to me through this angel, I will put the fleece out. Let rain, let dew from heaven rest on the dew alone. Let all the ground around the dew dry. I will know you are the one that is speaking to me through the angel. And he did that first night. And then on the dew, on the fleece, dew came. And all around the fleece were dry. And when he came out in the morning, he saw it. He was afraid. He said, God, don't be angry. Don't be angry, sir. I can see that around this fleece is dry. But on this flea is dew, wet. So now, God, I want one more opportunity to confirm that you called me and you are sending me on this assignment. Please, God of heaven, I'm going to put back this fleece out in the night. Tonight, I don't want dew on the fleece. Let the fleece be dry. But let around the fleece be wet with the dew from heaven. And he woke up the next morning, he saw the dry fleece and he saw around it wet with the dew from heaven. I said, God, I have no choice. And God told him, go in this your might. When you look at the case of Gideon, he has no cause or any recourse to want to tell God, so God, I'm going back. No, because he was able to confirm his calling. He was so sure of his calling. Many that run out of ministry, they have never confirmed their calling. Many were just particular about money making in ministry. They did not confirm the God side of ministry. Because until the God side is balanced, money will not come. Many pastors are in ministry and that is the beginning of their poverty. And many are in the ministry and that is the beginning of their abundance. So it's not all the time that it works and money will just flow. How many people will give you tithes? How many people will give you offering? To even run ministry and run the assignment and run the work, you need more money than offering and tithes. So, and if God has not called you and you have not confirmed it, you'll be weighed out. You'll be weary out. How many times have they brought a 600 bill of an event? I will slash it to 40K. We must do it. So, and most of the time, it's not about the money. It's about what will God say. There was a particular event we're supposed to have, and we calculated the stuff to rent a hall, to rent this, to rent that, to bring in this, and bring in that, and bring in that, and then refreshment. They will have a bill of like 400,000. And like, what are you doing with this? Yes, I said, no, just let's get 50K to pay for the hall. So Kuma, we raise that money. Let's get this one to do for this one. We do that one. Yeah, let's do publicity. The whole money we spent was not up to 70K. And then they came for other. I said, forget, leave these other ones. If God do it, well, good and done. If not, we already have the event in place. And to God be the glory. The day we started that event, it was supposed to be a 2-day program. The day we began that event, the whole of the sky, it was as if the rain will stop the program. So I came out of all of the stuff and I looked to the sky. I said, rain, you are not coming down here. We are having this event in 2 days. You are allowed to fall here in the 3 days to come. You are not allowed today. You are not allowed tomorrow. Because we have this event and God gave an approval for this event. So there is nothing you can do here, Mr. Rain. So go back and stay. And you are suspended in this locality for these 2 days. Now, we plan, instead of 400,000, we use 70K less to plan. But we're able to use spiritual authority over the rain. And then the rain stopped. No rain the first day, no rain the second day. By the time we finished the event, the third day, the rain could not hold. The rain fell from around afternoon, fell till the next day. Continuous falling. Why? Because it has been suspended for 2 days. So what am I going there is this. When you see all these acts that you don't pay money to get, you don't pay money to have answer to them, there is no way you will run away from God. Because where are you running to? So many pastors get discouraged and leave ministry because they did not confirm their calling. And they did not take the authority God gave them and use it and see results. So that's why they may not have evidence and proof of why they should stay where God asked them to stay. So they will just run away or run off, going back into the world, looking for what is not lost. Because the only place and the best place I found is to stick to the plan of God for your life. If He has called you as a pastor, stay as a pastor. If He call you to be a business person, stay as a business person. Because it's where God plants you that you will flourish. When you transplant yourself, the person can dry up. So it is very, very important for every pastor, call of God, for them not to leave the work. They must confirm why and what God has called them to do. They must confirm the pattern, the mode of the ministry. They must confirm what is it that they must do to get the work across to the world around them. And that will help them on the long run.
All right, Daddy, thank you. So we have another question that says, is it true that disappointments and denials can be testimonies? And another one says, I just want to put the two together so that you can answer them because of our time. Another one says, is it every time you pray to God about things that you get answer? And when you don't get the answer, what do you do?
It's not all the time that you pray to God that you get answer. It's not all the time.
Why, sir?
There are times that you pray to God, but God will have a better plan than your plan.
Okay.
Many a times when we ask God for something, God has a better offer, but you were asking for a smaller offer because you were thinking that is what is good for you. But God knows what is good for you. So by the time God will answer your prayer, He will give you what is good for you. And then if you have not been able to walk perfectly with God, you'll be thinking that God did not hear you, and you'll be so discouraged. But by the time you look down the line, you will see that what God has answered, or what He gave you as answer to the prayer you prayed, is the best of answer. So it's not all the time you pray that you get the answer in the pattern that you wanted it. But most of the time that you pray and you get the answer in the pattern you wanted it, you hold it on and you never forget it. Let me give a story. There was an evangelist that went to a village area to preach, and it's to do 3-day crusade. So he began the crusade. The first day, he told them, just like we're saying now, he declared, no rain will fall here. The power of God is going to come down. And truly, the first day, no rain fell. The power of God was so mighty. The second day, he declared again, came on the stage, no rain will fall here. The whole cloud is heavy. No rain will fall here. And the rain did not fall. So many miraculous things take place the first day, the second day. The third day came, and the same thing happened. The weather was as black as night. And he told them, no rain will fall here. And they said, no rain, we know. So he said, bring the lame, bring the dead, bring the sick, bring the blind. So the people gather. So when he was about, they did the praise worship, they did the prayer. When he was about to mount the stage, he came up again and said, no, can you see? No rain will fall here today. He has not finished that statement when rain came down.
Wow.
The third day, rain drenched everybody, pursue everybody out of the venue.
Wow.
When that happened, he dropped the mic. He coordinated the guys to pack the instruments. And from that pulpit, he went to the bar and he started drinking.
Wow.
A great evangelist. He started drinking. He started drinking. He returned back to the world. He backslid completely. So 3 months after, he was in a bar drinking when a major known spiritualist in that town came to him where he was. And the man shouted and said, man of God, I've been looking for you for the past 3 days. And the guy said, there's no God. There's no God anywhere. There's no God. Go so long. I say, Emasobe Alagba. Alagba Emasobe. That means, man of God, don't say that. He said, no, there's no God. There is no God. He has proved there's no God. The man was surprised. The spiritualist was surprised. And then he said, hey, Monkotolo Ushedi, sir. So the spiritualist now was not the one telling the man of God that is already drinking. That was already discouraged. What God did in the 3 days past event that he had. 3 months ago. He said in the first day of that event, in their coven, they planned against the event that they will bring down rain. And they sent some spy to come into the venue of the crusade. And those spies were there. But the power of God was so much when he was ministering all over the place that the agent they sent were so powerless they cannot do anything. They were so confused in the midst of the crowd that they cannot do any harm. And the first day of the event was powerful that those people returned back to their coven. They were all ashamed that they could not do anything the first day. So the second day, they planned another plot that they will still bring down rain, but they will now come into the midst of the people and they begin to use charm on the people to cause confusion, and the rain will now come down. Now they said the second day, 3 people came from their coven again to distort the crusade, and they could not carry it out. That they were all confused all through the event. And then they said they saw angels that were beating them and harassing them, that they could not do anything. So the second day was powerful. That the third day, that it was so close to the power and authority in their coven. They now told them that this young rank witches and wizards has gone. They didn't get any results. Who will go for us? This man is proving to be a genuine great man of God, and is showing the power of God. So how can we bring him down and stop what he's doing? So he now said he volunteered, because on a normal day he is not meant to be outside because of the level that he occupies as a principality in the power. So he now said he volunteered that he will go. And it's okay, how can you go? What are you going to do? Now they have gone inside them, in the midst of them. They could not touch them. How will you be able to do it? He said they should not worry, that he will know what to do. Later he now came up with an idea. He said he would do it from a distance. He won't go to their midst where they will overpower him. That from a distance he will distort the program. And what are you going to do? He told them that he will go with a spiritual gun that they will have soaked in their power and use all kind of invocation on it. And then they will now go and look for a tree that is very close to the venue of the event. And that tree will target to be the one that will face the altar where the man will stand and speak. So as soon as he come on the stage, they will just shoot him with the spiritual gun, and that is the end of his life. You say, those they shake him. They say, that is why you are the boss. That's why you are the Oga. So that they shake him and they praise him that he should go. So they did the gun, they put the charm in it, they put everything in place, and the guy said he was on the tree, very close to the venue of the crusade in their village, and he was there waiting for him to come. So the people that did the praise worship came and did their own. They are not their target. The prayer people came and prayed. They are not their target. Then when he came up, he has set the gun to shoot him spiritually. And then the only thing that could make that gun not to answer is water. He said the moment he set him and target him to shoot him, that was when the rain came. That if that rain has not come that day, that he would have killed him. Wow. That as soon as the rain came, that was the rain that was used by his God to stop them from destroying him. He said from that day, he realized that he has power than what he has. Wow. So from that day, he has been looking for him for the past 3 months to give his life to God. That he didn't return back to their coven after that day. He returned back to his house and he was now praising the God that he served. Wow. So 3 months ago, he has been looking for him to lead him to his God and let his God give him the kind of power that he has. Wow. That is he's a powerful man of God. Now the truth of the matter is this: the man of God and the head of the spiritualists, the head of the witches and wizards, they were weeping together. Because the man of God was weeping not because of what will happen, he was weeping because of how he thought that God disappointed him by not answering his prayer the way he wanted. But now he could see that God did not disappoint him, that God was still on his side. So what he expected is that rain should not fall. But what he needed at that moment is that rain should fall. Wow. So God answered him based on what he needed, based on his demand for that moment. But he was not requesting for it. So he now thought that God disappointed him. So they both knelt down in the bar there. He was asking for mercy. He prayed after his own mercy for the new converts and win the man's life to God. Wow. And they both left the bar to go and continue the crusade from that village to other villages around them. Wow. Now, where am I going there with that story is that many men of God fail God when they expect God to answer them in their own way. And he refused to answer them because he could see the future. There is no way he will answer them the way they wanted and they will go far. So God answered them the best way he knew is best for them. But many of them take it off and say, there's no God. He did not answer me the way I wanted. It's foolishness. Because that story drives home that point. It's not all the time you pray in your pattern, in your way, in your mode, and God will answer you that way. It's not all the time. He will always answer you the way is best for you per time. Because that is the way he knows you will need to go from glory to glory and from level of grace to level of grace. So God will not always answer you in your own mode, in your own pattern all the time. He will always answer you according to his will at all times.
So which means denial and disappointment at times can be testimony.
It's not denial. It's just him giving you his will. He has not denied you anything.
But one can think like God denied one.
No. Look at the case of the man of God. Did he deny him rain or deny him no rain? No. The will of God for him at that time is the rain.
It's the rain.
Now, let's take an instance. Look at those ones that we had. The boy that came, the girl that came, that's the will of God. Now, if the question there is that if we had placed that order and God now give a different gender, that would be the will of God. Okay. It now rose to the fact that the will of God per time, we may
I'm
not be able...
because I have a question here. Now say, sir, can you help me place order for twins?
It's not mechanical. It's not mechanical. So you can't just so, but if one waits on God, okay, and God says it is his will, then why not? So, and if God says it is his will and it's not going to happen immediately, what can you do? Okay. If God says it is his will and it will happen instantly, what can you do? That was why I talk about mechanical ministry the other time. You can't mechanize God to do what you want. He's not a kalo God. He's a God that will make his will to come to pass in the life of his children. So the ordering for twins is a good thing. It's a wonderful thing. But is that the will of God for the person? Okay. Is that what God wanted for the person? So after we pray and we get the mind of God and he said that is his will, why not? It doesn't cost me anything. Me, I'm only an oracle. I'm only a vessel. I'm only a mouthpiece of his. My own is to say what he says to me and we declare it. And once it comes out, it becomes planted as a seed and it will grow and germinate. And so those are the things that are there. So we can order for anything, but it must be according to his will.
Thank you very much, Daddy. And viewers in the house, thank you very much for watching the show. There's no time again, and we just need to come to hand out the show. Please, if you still want to place your order, you can still send your order to +234 8054 281604 even after the show. So our Father will pray over it, and if it's the will of God, if it is what God wants for you at this time, then God will bring it to pass. Daddy, I don't know if there's still one.
Well, it's a good stuff that we are rounding off, because from next week I probably might want us to look into how to bounce back post-COVID stuff. So, but I have 14 testimonies here, and we've only looked at 7. So we're going to postpone the others to some other time. So, but the truth of the matter is this: if you and we don't learn to count our blessings and name them one by one, we may not be able to be encouraging God to keep doing what He wants us to do. And the testimony of God and the testimony of Christ in our life, they are the source of strength for the next level of God to open up to us part time. If David has forgotten what God did in the wilderness with him, if he can't remember the experience with the lion, if he can't remember the experience with the bear, he will never have summoned the courage and strength to confront Goliath. So it now rose to the fact that you are not meant to forget what God has done. You are not meant to forget the testimonies of God. And no matter the challenge that confronts you part time in the course of the journey of life, what you should always have at the back of your mind is this: if God can intervene for you last year, yesterday, last week, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, you should be able to have the confidence and the courage in the same God that will intervene for you on the matter or the challenges you are confronting part time or presently. I therefore pray for you wherever you are. Every veil from the pit of hell that the wicked one is using to becloud your mind from remembering the act of God in your life in the past, those veils are broken off now in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Those veils are removed now in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. From now henceforth, I pray for you in the name of God that your heart will be open to remember the doings of God, Amen. The acts of God, the glory of God, Amen. The favor of God, the testimonies of God, Amen. In your life in the past. And this will bring about strength and ability in you to confront the challenges ahead of you in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. I pray for you, the veil that the enemy used to cover people's eyes from the acts of God and the miracles of God in order for him to defeat them. I pray that veil will no more succeed in your life and family in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. That veil will no more succeed in your marriage, in your home in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. The Lord will be with you. Amen. The Lord will uphold you. Amen. The Lord will strengthen you. Amen. And it shall be well with you. Amen. It shall be well with your household. Amen. Everything that you heart desire as you are watching us tonight, I pray by the grace of God, by He that called me and sent me, receive your heart desire, Amen. Receive your testimony, Amen. Receive your blessings, Amen. Receive your miracles, Amen. Receive your favor, Amen. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. This pandemic, this epidemic will not be your portion, Amen. It will not be your lot in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. And by the time all this is over, you will live and stand to give testimony for what God has done in your life and family in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Shall be well with you. Amen. I cover you with blood of Jesus Christ. I cover your testimony with blood of Jesus Christ. In the name that is above only, the blood will speak for you. Amen. The blood will answer for you. Amen. And it shall be well with you. Amen. And so shall it be. Amen. For in Jesus' glorious name we pray. Amen, amen and amen, in Jesus' name.